North Korea's defiance and hatred of the US on show for the world to see. Its state news agency says anti-American speeches were celebrated by an audience of more than 100,000 people in Pyongyang. Not surprising, given the decades of tensions and sanctions that the North blames on the US.
The
U.S. has put sanctions against our country from the very first day of its foundation.
From an early age, the North Korean government teaches its citizens to hate America, and that hatred dates back to the Korean War. The conflict began in 1950. By its end in 1953, the US had dropped more than 600,000 tons of explosives, devastating the Korean peninsula, which remains divided to this day. There was no peace treaty, and the North and South are technically still at war. North Korea never forgave the United States. Its founder, Kim Il-sung, and his successors have all portrayed the US as an ever-present threat, easily done with so many US troops on its border. Despite periods where both sides made efforts to normalize relations, deals to relax economic sanctions in exchange for Pyongyang freezing its nuclear program have always broken down. And after 9/11, the rhetoric was stepped up.
North Korea is a regime arming with missiles and weapons of mass destruction while starving its citizens. States like these and their terrorist allies constitute an axis of evil.
North Korea conducted its first nuclear test in 2006, and 5 more have followed. The most recent and powerful was earlier this month. And despite decades of sanctions, it has also expanded its ballistic missiles program, saying the entire US territory is now within range. Analysts say the latest crisis needs to be put in context.
In the post-Cold War period, we have seen the United States exercising in a unilateral way regime change all around the world. So North Korea looks at Iraq, it looks at Libya as examples of potential destabilizing futures that it doesn't want.
Pyongyang has long used the fear of an American attack as a tool to unify its citizens. But the last month of insults and threats has raised tension like never before. And in a country so suspicious of outsiders and inward-looking, the danger is that actions and words could be misinterpreted with devastating consequences. Duncan, Crawford, Al Jazeera.